Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to learn measurement of strength of textile materials. The learning objectives of this session are to understand various terms and definitions in relation to strength testing, to learn factors affecting tensile strength of textiles, to understand modes and principles of strength testing, and to study methods and instruments for measuring strength of textile materials. So let us begin with the important terms and definitions which are used in strength testing of textile materials. The first term which is used is the strength. Strength is basically load bearing capacity of any material. Let us assume this is a sample. If you apply load in longitudinal direction, then the type of strength or the load bearing capacity of that material is known as tensile strength. So tensile strength is defined as load bearing capacity of material in longitudinal direction. This load is a force which is applied either by using dead weight or by any other means, which is generally expressed in terms of gram force, kilogram force or pound force. Next term is breaking load. Breaking load is defined as load at which specimen breaks. Let us assume that L1 is the load which is applied on the sample. This load increases to L2 to L3 and we get a position where the specimen breaks. Let us assume this load is L4. So L4 is the load where specimen is breaking. The load L1, L2 and L3, those are known as incremental loads, while L4, which is specific load where the specimen is breaking, is known as breaking load. The next term is stress. To understand concept of stress, let us consider two different strands, strand A and strand B. Strand A shows 300 gram breaking load and strand B is showing 600 gram breaking load. Now compare these two strands for strength. Definitely your answer will be B, but this may be wrong. As far as the numerical values are concerned, no doubt 600 gram is higher than 300 grams. But in actual, the condition may be something like this. Strand A may be having diameter of 1 unit, while diameter of strand B is 2 units. Because of which, if you consider diameter of these two strands, the inherent strength of the material will be 300 upon the variable. The variable here is diameter of the strand and therefore the inherent strength of this material is 300 grams. While the inherent strength of strand B, if you exclude the variable, will be equal to 600 by 2, that is 300 gram. And hence we can conclude that both of these strands are equally stronger. This concludes that mere by using values of breaking loads, comparison of different materials for the strength is not possible. We have to therefore use the term which includes load as well as the diameter of the material, and thus stress is ratio of the load on the specimen and area of cross section of the material, which can be expressed in terms of grams per square centimeter or newtons per meter square or dynes per square centimeter. As far as textile materials are concerned, textile fibers they have irregular cross section. We have studied this in the topic fiber fineness. Cotton fiber has bean shaped cross section. Silk has triangular cross section. Wool has oval shaped cross section, while viscose fiber have serrated cross section. Different fibers, they have different cross sections, irregular cross sections especially. And in such cases, it is difficult to measure the diameter. We cannot express size of the fiber in terms of diameter. As far as textile yarns are concerned, those are compressible in nature and they include lot of variations in diameter. And hence, solution for this problem is, instead of considering area of cross section in the formula of stress, which takes care of diameter, we can use what is called as linear density, one of the measure to express size of fiber and yarn. So when you replace area of cross section by linear density, we get a term that is called as mass stress. Instead of focusing on the diameter, since we are focusing on the weight of the material, this particular term is known as mass stress. It takes care of mass of the material and the unit will be therefore grams per denier, or it can be grams per tex. When load reaches to breaking point, we call it as breaking load. In the same way, when mass stress reaches to breaking point, we call that specific mass stress as tenacity. So, the tenacity is defined as mass stress at break, which is ratio of breaking load upon linear density. And the unit will remain same, that is grams per denier or grams per tex. The next term is breaking length. Breaking length is defined as the length of the specimen which will just break under its own weight when hung vertically. It is expressed in terms of kilometers or in terms of RKM. RKM stands for resistance in kilometer. To understand concept of the breaking length, let us solve this example. Calculate breaking length of 20s NE cotton yarn if it shows tenacity equals to 24 gram per tex. The answer for this question is 24 kilometers. Let me explain what is exact relation between tenacity and the breaking length. As far as tenacity is concerned, it is grams per tex. As far as tex is concerned, it is weight in grams of 1 kilometer yarn. And therefore, you can replace tex by grams per kilometer. Hence, tenacity will be equal to, it can be rewritten as grams per kilometer. Gram gets cancelled and you are going to get what is called as kilometers. So, tenacity, though we express in terms of grams per tex in general, it shows kilometers of the same yarn which is required to break the yarn. Hence, tenacity, if you express in terms of gram per tex, will be equal to breaking length in kilometers. Textile materials are extensible in nature. So, we have to consider an important term, that is elongation. Elongation is defined as increase in length of sample after application of load. Elongation is expressed in terms of mm, centimeter, inches, etc. To understand concept of elongation, let us consider an example. Suppose we have two different yarns, yarn A and yarn B. Yarn A is showing 2 centimeter elongation and yarn B is showing 4 centimeter elongation. Compare these two yarns for extensibility at given load. For this question, your answer may be yarn B, because here 4 is greater than 2. But here also you may go wrong, because the test conditions may be like this. Yarn A might have tested with 25 centimeter test length, while yarn B might have tested with the test length equal to 50 centimeter. Ultimately, extensibility at given load for yarn A will be 3 upon 25, which is 0.08, while for B it is 4 upon 50, which is 0.08 again. So we can conclude that yarn A and B are equally extensible at given load. This concludes that the term elongation cannot be used for comparing different yarns or different textile strands for their extensibility. We have to consider the test length or original length of the specimen. When you include original length or test length of the sample while expressing increase in length of the specimen, we get a new term called as strain. Strain is therefore defined as ratio of increase in length and original length of the sample. And the strain term therefore can be used for comparing different materials for extensibility. But as you can see here, it is a bit difficult to handle the figures of strain which are in points. Maybe 0.08, 0.06, 0.2, 0.085, etc. And hence, we have to express the strain in percentage for better handling of the data. And we get a new term called as extension. Extension is simply strain expressed in percentage. So it is ratio of increase in length and original length of the sample expressed in percentage. Breaking extension is the next term which denotes extension at breaking point. Very similar to breaking load, the value of extension when specimen breaks is known as breaking extension. While we study behavior of textile materials towards application of load, there is one more important term called as elastic recovery. Elastic recovery is defined as ability of material to recover its original shape and size after you remove the load. Let us assume OA is original sample. If you apply a load in longitudinal direction to this specimen, the specimen has extended from point A to B. So here the extension at given load is AB. Now suppose you have removed the load. After you remove the load, the sample goes back to the point C. Now here the elastic recovery of this material is measured considering two terms. First is elastic extension and second total extension. In this example, as far as total extension is concerned, total extension is AB after you apply the load. Now when you remove the load, the material, since it goes back to point C, as far as elastic extension is concerned, from B the sample has moved to C. So this is elastic extension, recovered extension, and therefore we can measure elastic recovery of the material by considering two values in this example, that is BC divided by AB. For 100% elastic materials, after you remove the load, the material will try to go back to its original size. Thus here BC will be equal to AB for 100% elastic materials, and hence elastic recovery for 100% elastic materials will be 1. If expressed in percentage, elastic recovery will be 100% for 100% elastic materials. These are few common and basic terms which are used in tensile strength testing of textile materials. Thank you.